The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone, it's Sonia here. Well, look what I found today. Great news! President Trump orders all troops out of Syria. Declares victory over ISIS. Wow, that's wonderful news. Finally, a president who actually pulls troops out and doesn't just talk about it. Good, good. This is good. I like this. Graham Rubio criticized action as a mistake. There's always a critic. They must have some vested interest in wanting to stay in the war. Oh, let's read the article. I'm so excited. I mean, this is just the kind of news you want to hear. You know, you get up, you have your coffee, you open Facebook, and it's like, wow, finally something good is happening. President Donald Trump called Wednesday for a U.S. withdrawal from Syria over the apparent objections of military advisors and Republican lawmakers. Well, sure, the military wants to stay in the war. I mean, if they're not in a war, they're out of business. Just ignore it. The withdrawal of the more than 2,000 troops is based on Trump's decision that the mission against ISIS is complete. Way to go. You finally did it. Wait a minute. I'm starting to have a hard time believing that. Defeating ISIS? America's been in the war on terror since, what, 2001? It's like 17 years? And in all those 17 years, all I've personally observed was things getting worse. And now he's defeated ISIS? I find it a little hard to believe. Military leaders, including Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, in recent weeks and months have spoken of the need for U.S. troops to remain in the eastern part of the country to help stabilize it and allow for peace negotiations to proceed. Where have I heard that one before? I remember, what was like 10 years ago, listening to Michael Ignatieff talking about how they were pulling out of Afghanistan, but then ending the speech with, well, pulling out, but I mean, not like pulling out. I mean, we got to leave some people there because they need us, you know. We can't pull out or it's going to be chaos. We go in and bomb them. We blow up their country. We ruin their infrastructure. But they need us to make peace. I don't know how this works. I've heard this a lot. You have to go in there and make a problem, and then you have to stay to fix the problem. So I'm starting to see where this is going. Are they really going to pull out? I'm not so sure. Senator Lindsey Graham derided Trump's decision to withdraw, likening it to those made by former President Barack Obama to announce ahead of time plans to reduce forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. What did I say? Haven't I heard this before? I've heard it many times. Never worked out. I remember when Obama was president and he was like, we're going to pull out the troops. And then at the end, he said, people keep asking me to pull out the troops as if I have that kind of power or as if I can make that call. I don't remember how he phrased it exactly, but the message was, I don't really have the power to do that, which kind of makes you wonder, who does? I mean, if the commander-in-chief of the military can't pull troops out, who's calling the shots? And they can certainly put troops in. As I recall, Bush Jr. went into the Middle East and started the war on terror without the approval of the Congress. So I guess you can start a war, but you can't finish it. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said Wednesday that the U.S. has defeated the territorial caliphate. These victories over ISIS in Syria do not signal the end of the global coalition or its campaign. That's probably the truth. We have started returning United States troops home as we transition to the next phase of this campaign. Sounds ominous to me when they say things like next phase. And to think that started off on such a positive note. The coalition has liberated the ISIS-held territory, but the campaign against ISIS is not over. Yet in a tweet earlier on Wednesday morning, Trump declared victory. We have defeated ISIS in Syria, my only reason for being there during the Trump presidency. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, ISIS is far from obliterated. The Washington-based think tank estimates ISIS may still possess between 20,000 and 30,000 militants in Iraq and Syria. As recently as last week, officials said U.S. troops may need a longer stay to ensure that the military's accomplishments are enduring. You know, I remember when the war on terror started, and I believe it was Donald Rumsfeld who said, this is going to go on for a long time, and probably none of us will see the end of this war in our lifetime. And I think that was probably one of the truest things anyone ever said about the war on terror. Marine General Joseph Dunford says, we still have a long way to go, and so I'd be reluctant to give a fixed time. Huh. So you went from, he's pulling the troops out of Syria, we declare a victory, to, well, we're pulling them out, but, you know, not all of them. We have to keep some of them there, because now that we screwed everything up, we have to help them, to U.S. troops may need a longer stay, to we still have a long way to go, and so I'd be reluctant to give a fixed time. Basically, we're exactly where we started. I get tired of reading the news, because you see a headline like this and you think they're going to tell you something, and then once you read the article, you find out there's absolutely nothing to it. Pulling out some troops. Okay, good. It's good he's pulling out some troops. Is there really any major change in the situation on the whole? Probably not. Probably not for a long time either. Oh well, it's not over till it's over, and at this time it's definitely not over. So let me know what you think. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for your support on Patreon. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.
Truth to girls.